Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive? Buckle up, because today we're heading into some seriously mysterious territory. We're talking about something called, and this is a mouthful, Obsidian's Tome.
You got that right.
Mm.
Mysterious is putting it mildly. And yeah, forget your comfy library vibes because this isn't your grandma's book collection.
Oh, I get that. From what I've heard, this is something else entirely. So set the scene for us. What are we dealing with here?
Okay, so picture this, right? Instead of a nice bound book,
Yeah.
we're talking scattered shards, fragments of obsidian, volcanic glass, dark and kind of shimmery. Each piece is a part of Obsidian's tome.
Obsidian fragments, huh? So not a book in the traditional sense. Interesting. And these fragments, what's so special about them?
They hold, well, it's not just information, it's more like the essence of past events.
Yeah.
Think of it as a bridge between, the stuff we see every day and the unseen forces that are always at play.
Okay, I'm intrigued, but I need a little more. What do you mean by essence? Is it like a memory? Is that what's captured in these obsidian pieces?
It's way more than just a simple memory. Think of it this way. You know how a photograph can capture a moment in time?
Right.
The visual.
Yeah, I get that. Like a snapshot.
Okay, so obsidian, it's like it captures not just the visual, the image, but also the unspoken stuff, the truth, the emotions behind things, even how decisions ripple outward. It's deep, man.
Whoa. So we're talking about the underlying energy of events, not just a surface level record. That's pretty profound. You said Obsidian's volcanic glass, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's always had this association with, truth and reflection.
Like, am I thinking of those shiny black mirrors you sometimes see?
Yeah, those. The ones that, seem to show more than just your reflection.
Exactly. They always give me the chills.
Right. Well, Obsidian's Tome, it's like that, but cranked up to 11. Holding a fragment is supposed to make your senses go into overdrive, make you hyper-aware of the truth.
No way. Seriously. Seriously. It's like lies become, brittle, like they could just shatter.
Right.
And anyone trying to hide behind a mask, forget it. Their true intentions would just shine right through.
That is wild. So it's not about gaining new info, but about seeing through deception, getting to the core of things. I can see how that'd be incredibly useful in all sorts of situations,
Yeah.
from personal relationships to, heck, even international diplomacy.
100%. And here's where it gets even wilder. The tome, it's connected to something called veil paths.
Veil paths, what are those?
Like hidden corridors, man. Pathways between different realities, between what we know and what we don't.
You're telling me there are, secret doorways in the fabric of reality? Like, boom, you're in another dimension?
You could say that,
Right.
but here's the thing. The tome doesn't force those pathways open. You can't just, barge in.
So how does it work?
It's about resonance, about being aligned with the path's purpose. Imagine like a tuning fork, vibrating at the same frequency as the hidden path, guiding you to where you're meant to be.
Okay, so it's not enough to just have a fragment. You have to be in sync with it, with its energy. Almost like you need to be worthy of what it might reveal.
That's a great way to put it. And get this, the tome, it's not only a diary you have to write in. It's a living record. Your thoughts, your experiences, they get imprinted in its structure automatically.
You're telling me just by holding a fragment, I'm writing my story on it.
Yeah.
Like an autobiography in Obsidian.
Not just any thought, though. It's more about, your deep contemplations. The more you focus on something while holding a fragment, the deeper the impression it leaves.
Wow. Okay, so it's recording my inner world, my intentions, the things I truly dwell on. That's a bit intense.
It is. And you know how sometimes you struggle to remember a specific detail, but the feeling, the essence of the experience sticks with you?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Well, the tome's like that. It holds onto those deeper layers even when your mind forgets. It's like a silent companion carrying the weight of your experiences.
That's a powerful image, and I bet there's more, right? This is Obsidian's tome we're talking about. It can't be that simple.
You're right on the money with that. This is where things get even more, well, let's say, interesting. The tome, it doesn't just record your stuff. It also reflects karmic structures. Not just your own, but those around you too.
Wait, hold on, back up. Karmic structures, you're saying it can, show you the karmic baggage someone's carrying? If they've done some shady stuff.
That's not about judgment, right? It's about energy.
Okay.
Imagine you're
I see.
holding a fragment and you're talking to someone, right? And suddenly it feels heavier, colder, like a physical weight.
Ooh, that would freak me out. But seriously, it can react to the energy of other people? That's incredible.
It's pretty wild. And the crazy part is, we're just scratching the surface here. This is just the beginning of understanding Obsidian's tome.
Okay, so let's talk about how you actually use this thing. Is there a specific way you interact with it, like a ritual or something?
Ah, see, that's where it gets really interesting. The tome, it's not like a tool you can just command. It's not about force of will or any of that. It works on resonance, on being in alignment.
So it's about being in tune with it, more of a partnership than trying to control it.
Exactly, like a dance.
Yeah.
And there are ways to like fine-tune that connection. Like keeping it in darkness allows it to absorb stuff. It's like it's listening
Listening to what?
to everything,
Yeah.
to energy, to intentions. Then when you bring it into the light, those impressions become clearer.
Like what kind of impressions?
All kinds. It could be a feeling, a memory, a flash of insight. You never know.
No, it's like a dark room for the soul.
That's a pretty awesome metaphor.
Yeah.
But I need to know more. There has to be more to this.
Oh, there's way more. For example, if you arrange 3 fragments in a triangle, it can amplify things.
A triangle, like a specific geometric shape.
Yep, exactly. Creates a focused energy field, stabilizes chaotic energy, and can even reveal, those hidden pathways we were talking about. Wait, so geometry plays a role, like the actual arrangement of the obsidian matters?
You got it. And it's not just about the physical space. The tome's influence, it can reach out. Imagine putting fragments in different places, like your home, your car, your office. They create an invisible link.
So it's like I'm not just seeing the truth, but becoming connected to it, woven into its fabric across distances. Man, this is getting mind-blowing.
And guess what? We're not even done yet. This is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Obsidian's tome.
Okay, hold on. I need a minute to process all this. We're talking about truth, hidden pathways, connections across space, and now you're saying there's more.
Oh yeah, we haven't even touched on how this thing interacts with dreams. And that's a whole other rabbit hole.
Okay, well, you can't just drop that and walk away. We're going to have to dive into that. Dreams in Obsidian. I'm already hooked. All right, dreams in Obsidian, spill the beans. How does this tome thingy mess with our sleep?
Think of it this way. Dreams, right. They're like a language all their own, full of symbols and metaphors. Crazy stuff.
Oh, absolutely. My dreams are wild. Sometimes I wake up more confused than when I went to sleep.
Right, well, sleeping near a fragment of the tome, it's like having a translator for that dream language.
Whoa, hold on. A dream translator? So I'd understand what my crazy subconscious is trying to tell me.
You got it. Things become clearer, less jumbled. The messages, the insights, they just become more accessible.
So we're not talking about seeing the future or anything like that.
Not exactly. It's more about understanding the messages that are already there, the stuff your subconscious is trying to tell you.
So it's like instead of ignoring those whispers, those gut feelings, I'd be able to actually hear them. That's pretty powerful.
Right. It's like having a clearer conversation with yourself,
Mm-hmm.
where that little voice of intuition becomes a bit louder.
Okay, I can see how that would be useful. But what about the actual content of the dreams? Do they change?
Oh, for sure. You might start remembering old forgotten memories, or have super vivid dreams that give you a whole new perspective on your waking life.
That's fascinating. It's like we often dismiss dreams as just random nonsense. But what if they hold a deeper meaning, like a guidance system we're not always tuned into?
And the tome. It seems to amplify that connection, helping us navigate those winding paths of our own minds. It doesn't give you the answers outright, but helps you ask the right questions.
I like that. It's like, having a guide in a museum. They don't tell you what to think about each piece of art, but point out the details that help you form your own interpretation.
That's a great analogy. It really captures what the tome does for dream exploration.
Okay, so we've got this fragmented tome, right? Each piece is like a little window into, well, everything. Does that mean each fragment holds different information, or are they all basically the same?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Scholars have been debating that for ages. While each fragment seems to have the same core abilities, the experiences and intentions imprinted on them create a unique resonance.
So each fragment is like its own little lens, offering a slightly different perspective depending on who interacted with it before.
Exactly. And imagine all those fragments scattered across time and space, each holding a piece of the puzzle. It's not just about the individual pieces, it's about the collective, like the whole tapestry of experiences.
Okay, I have to admit, this is getting pretty deep.
Yeah.
We're talking about an artifact that's not just an object, but an active participant in shaping reality. It records, it reflects, it reveals. It's challenging us to face our own truths, our own hidden paths.
And it reminds us that we're not just isolated beings, We're all part of this massive web of energy, intention, and consequence. Every little choice, every interaction, it ripples outward. affecting not just ourselves, but the whole world around us.
Whoa, you're talking about the butterfly effect, right? How even the smallest actions can have huge unforeseen consequences.
Exactly. And the tome, it's like it gives us a way to actually perceive those connections, those tiny threads that tie everything together.
Okay, so this is all very profound and philosophical, but I have to ask the practical question. What if someone with, let's say, less than noble intentions got a hold of a fragment? Could they use it for evil?
Now that's where the whole resonance thing comes back into play. Remember, the tome doesn't bend to anyone's will, no matter how powerful or tricky they think they are. It works on alignment.
So it's not like a magic wand you can just wave around and boss the universe around.
Not a chance. It amplifies what's already inside the person. Someone approaching it with greed and bad intentions, those negative vibes would come right back at them, probably with some nasty side effects.
So it's more like a mirror than a weapon. It shows you who you truly are and those who try to abuse it. They might end up facing their own demons.
Bingo. It doesn't judge, but it reveals. It holds up a mirror to your soul, and what you see there is ultimately a reflection of yourself.
That's a powerful image. It connects back to that idea that the tome's not just a tool, it's a teacher. It guides you toward answers, encourages self-reflection, and helps you understand the forces at play in the universe.
And that's what makes it so captivating, right? It challenges us to completely rethink our relationship with knowledge, with power, and with all the unseen forces that shape our lives.
All right, so far we've covered the tome as a living record, a truth detector, a key to secret pathways, and a dream guide. We've talked karma and connections across space, but what about its relationship with time? Can it give us glimpses into the past or future?
Now, that's a question that has puzzled people for centuries. The tome doesn't work like a time machine, not in the way we usually think of it. You can't hawk in and travel through the years.
So no DeLorean for us, huh?
Nope, sorry. But remember, it records the essence of events, the echoes of the past. And by tapping into those energies, you might be able to understand the forces that shape the present.
So it's not about literally going back in time, but about accessing the echoes, the ripples of those past events.
You got it. Imagine dropping a pebble in a still pond. The ripples spread out, right? Even after the splash is gone, you can still see the effects. The tome is like that. It lets you see those ripples, how the past still influences the present, and how the present, of course, shapes the future.
Okay, so it's less about predicting the future and more about understanding how everything is connected through time.
Exactly. Past, present, future. They're not separate boxes. They're all woven together. And the tome lets you see those threads, those patterns. It helps you understand how time flows.
Man, that's a lot to wrap your head around. It makes you wonder, if you could hold a fragment of this tome, what truth would you search for? What echoes of the past would you want to explore?
That's a question we all have to ask ourselves, isn't it? The tome doesn't offer easy answers. It's more like an invitation to a journey of self-discovery, to understand what it really means to be human in a world where the seen and the unseen are always intertwined.
That's beautifully put. But I have a feeling our listeners are craving a bit more, shall we say, practical information. You've hinted at the tome's power to reveal hidden paths, to connect us across distances. Can you give us some concrete examples of what that might actually look like? So about those hidden pathways and connections across distances, what might that actually look like, in real life?
Well, you got to remember, right, the tone, it's subtle. It works through resonance and alignment. We're not talking like Star Trek teleportation or seeing the future in a crystal ball.
Okay, so no shortcuts through time and space. Got it.
Right. Think of it more like this. You're struggling with a tough decision. Something's weighing on you.
I've been there.
We all have, right?
Yeah.
So imagine you're holding a fragment of the tome while you're thinking about this decision. Suddenly, things become clear. You get a deeper understanding of what might happen, the consequences of each choice.
So it's not about getting like a direct answer, but more about gaining clarity.
Exactly. The tome's like a compass. It points you in the right direction, toward the truest path, but you're still the one choosing which way to go.
Okay, I get that. So that's on a personal level. But you also talked about connections across distances. How does that work? What's that like?
Remember that idea of an invisible network we talked about?
Yeah, like having fragments in different places, creating a link.
Right. So let's say you've got a fragment at home and another in your office.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
Now, if you focus your intention, you might be able to create a subtle connection between those two places.
Hold on, a connection? Like what kind of connection?
It's not like a physical link, more like a thread of awareness. You might get a feeling, an intuition about what's happening in those spaces.
So I wouldn't be able to, like, see what's going on in my living room while I'm at work, but I might get a sense that something's up.
Exactly. It's subtle, like a nudge from your intuition telling you to pay attention. And this connection, it could also work with relationships. Think about someone you love, someone who's far away.
Yeah, okay, I get that. Long-distance relationships and all.
Right, holding a fragment while you're thinking about that person, it could deepen that connection. You might feel more empathy, more understanding.
That's interesting. It makes me think about those times when you suddenly get a feeling that someone you love needs you, even though they're miles away, like a mother's intuition kind of thing. Could the tome be amplifying those feelings?
It's definitely possible. The tome, it works in mysterious ways. It seems to enhance what's already there. Intuition, intention, connection, it makes those things stronger.
So it's not magic, but it's helping us tap into something that's already within us.
Exactly. It's like it's encouraging us to listen to those whispers, to trust our gut feelings, to pay attention to the subtle signs that we often ignore or dismiss as coincidence.
This is all mind-blowing stuff, but I have to ask, this tome, where did it even come from? Who created it, and what's its purpose?
Ah, those are the big mysteries, right? The ones that have stumped scholars and philosophers for centuries.
So we don't know at all.
There are tons of legends and theories. Some folks believe it's super ancient, maybe even a gift from the gods. Others think it was created by a civilization that's long gone, super advanced technology that we can't even comprehend.
So its origin is still a complete unknown.
For now, yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe that's part of what makes it so fascinating, right? It pushes us to question, to explore, to keep searching for answers.
I like that. It's not about having all the answers, but about the journey of discovery.
Exactly. Obsidian's tome, it's not just an object. It's a symbol of all the mysteries of existence. It reminds us that we're part of something much bigger than ourselves, something we might never fully understand. And that's okay.
That's a great point. We spent this whole deep dive exploring this incredible tome, its ability to show us the truth, to amplify our dreams, to connect us across time and space. It's been a wild ride.
It really has. And I hope it's inspired our listeners to think outside the box, to question everything, to look for the hidden connections that exist all around us.
Well said. This tome, it doesn't just reveal secrets about the world, it reveals secrets about ourselves. It challenges us to look within and ask the big questions.
Exactly. The journey of self-discovery, that's what it's all about.
And on that note, I think it's time to wrap things up. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your insights with us. This has been an incredible journey into the heart of mystery.
The pleasure was all mine. Keep those minds open and those questions coming.
And to our amazing listeners, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep seeking the truth that lies within. Until next time, this is The Deep Dive, signing off.